big question, was the goal laner, man. This is the big question. I mean, I don't know, like, lane-wise, Claude maybe, but I don't know if that's enough.
I think that Claude makes a little more sense here because Bruno would struggle against the glorious pathway
and the Haya.
And the Haya as well. We'll see how this plays out, what Toy has left.
Claude Purify.
Claude Purify?
You still need it.
Yeah.
You do.
It's funny and it's sad, but it's true.
Because, yeah, what else, right? What else?
Yeah, it's either Claude or Bruno, really, unless they want to pull a Marco and go 1-1, but there's already a Hayabusa in place so that the 1-1 will have a bad time.
Man, this is a difficult one to watch. LaFell, which draft are you leaning into?
Super Friends, Louis, Brusco, Jawhead, Kelra on that Granger. This
King
is
Kong on the Haya.
This is
Let's just name everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kirk on the Hylos.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Onic PH definitely is coming in with an advantage in the drafting section. I wonder what Kescute had in mind with this draft, and maybe we'll see it in the game. So Leo, and as well as Merkel, take us in for game number 2.
The Kingdom are clapping, shouting, singing, waving their flags to get their team back into this as Onic Philippines start off strong. The Super Fam first to the board. Mirko and Leo bringing you the action. Where do you side on the draft?
I have to say, Onic Philippines, man. Game number 1, I said RRQ, but in Super Friends on Selena this time, it's just Onic, no buts.
It's every pick, lane per lane. All right, let's get into the Land of Dawn. The Kingdom versus the Super Fam. It's Onic PH versus RRQ.
Did I just see Papara Supermassive players celebrating with the Sonics there in the building?
They were there.
They were there. They're supporting, clearly, Onic Philippine fans as well here. And this is the advantage you have when you have the Jawhead, man. The Hayabusa, who should lose out in clear speed, isn't a loss anymore. Like, you actually clear faster with the help of the Jawhead.
He's a great leasher. Brusco keeping tabs on Edok, mano y mano. But this does open up the Little Wanderer because look, Tsuchijin knows that King Kong's a little slower, so he's like, hey, I'm gonna get this first.
Taking a look at it, no Season Hunter this time for Brusco on the Jawhead. It's going to be the pull yourself together and thrill. So just more damage overall. In this matchup, we saw it just earlier, Dyron versus Kirk. It was Kirk on the Phoveus, now it's Dyron. It's a switcheroo. Let's see who has more impact on the Phoveus and the Hylos, right? Because game 1, it was definitely the Phoveus winning.
How about this gold lane matchup, the Granger versus the Claude? Oh wow, Toy actually goes for the flicker. All right, so he's trusting in his mechanics, his instincts a little more than what I would care for. Again, I would err on the side of caution.
Same. I do the same, especially up against this very scary composition when it comes to CC. Yes, you will be able to flicker out the unstoppable force, but if it's chained together with other CC, it'll be very dangerous, my friend. And even, again, I guess he's thinking that he wants to flicker out of the Shadow Kill. That's what I'm thinking about, right? In the early game, more reliable than purifying the quad Shadow.
Yeah, would rather flicker into your allies to spread the damage. But that'll force RRQ Hoshi to play a certain way. Now, talking about lane to lane, the way this game has gone, it's relatively slow, 2 minutes in, no action just yet. It's Onic PH first to the pit, 3 members circling. Edok can only watch. So it's just taking a while.
Yep. It's going to go on the orange buff. Kirk is going to be shoved back over to Tyrant. He's not interested though. Gets stunned up. Rin's in the back all alone. Pops in the Crimson Beacon. Will be engaged on by King Kong. Rin's still able to survive now. Tsuchijin jumps into the back. Doesn't have. Oh, electrifying beats. And Jusin Rins was able to pick him up back to the electrifying beats.
Oh, all the way in the center of the map. They collapse onto Onic. 2 down already. Kirk and King Kong. It's all Kingdom, baby.
Oh, that ejector might have just played into his demise. Brusco, taken down, but Super Prince gets a double with that yin-yang reaction.
A smooth operator, the monster mage is, but he could not take out the key members of RRQ Hoshi to slow down the turtle take. The Kingdom take the first major neutral.
Wow. It looked so one-sided, and then Super Prince said, nah, I'm gonna get a few trades in, an instant double, as he just waited in the bush for that ambush.
But again, we have to acknowledge the fact that when you have to play in the paint, when it's all in AoE, just these little skirmishes, RRQ Hoshi are at an advantage. Even when eventually Toy joins, Onic PH don't want to fight like that. So it's all about priority, and RRQ Hoshi, despite Onic being the first to the scene, were out of their breath. It was all initiative for RRQ, so that's one thing RRQ drafted into. We just have to consider how they use that for the gold lane.
What a bait, though, again, for Ritz. He Crimson Beacon very early. Hold up, another shove over to Kirk. All inning onto the horse. Revitalize used up, brought back again. The horse stays alive.
Kirk refuses to take that lion down. So far, RRQ Hoshi are putting the pressure where it's necessary. Again, they know that they have a lead. 500 leading up to more at 4 minutes. How does Onic PH thread the needle here? How do they say, hey, we have to win somewhere, and where is that besides the gold lane?
I don't think they're in any rush. They can wait for, again, the mid-game. Later on, King Kong will hit his power spike. I think everybody will hit their power spike, and then they could utilize the diversion to create an angle of an attack up against RRQ, because right now it does seem like this front to back for RRQ is a bit too strong. They have so much CC that they can chain together, and it works. The synergy is great. Edoc gets an implosion. You get demonic force procs on everybody, and then you just see Diamond start jumping.
Yep, it's an angle that none from RRQ could expect. That's the only way Onic wins from the early to mid before them power spikes. Turtle spawning here, lower corner of the map, 10 seconds. Onic PH, how do they approach this? It seems like they're sending their roamers over there already. Check in. All right, Super just repositioning. Turtle's up.
Turtle number 2 spawning in the game. This time RRQ with the control over it. Diamond would go for the shove. Shoulder bash over Brusco. 2 members caught in the Infernal Pursuit now. Sitsujin is on that. Now retreat from King Kai. It's shot back by Edog. And look at the damage coming down from Toy now as Tyrant holds him away. Sitsujin gets a double. Prince knocked up now, chained down for Tyrant to get the kill under the turret. But they will give it over to Rins.
The half-purple man pushing Onic to the limit. And all the members of the Super Fam are caught out of position, even underneath tier 1 in mid. That was a bad spot for Prince to be. And all they could get out of that was Dyren.
Well played. RRQ Hoshi. Again, it's the chain CC, Leo. We see a 1v1 up top, but Jin is doing a good job right now. Unstoppable force coming down. That's the ejector to lock him up. King Kong gets that shutdown, only traded for a turret. So they have ways still to equalize in the game. But back to the point, Turtle 2. Dyren baited so many resources just by being there, shoving people away, that they completely forgot about Edoc's engage.
Yep, the man-to-man defense led to a 3-for-1 for Edoc's ult. That was amazing. RRQ Hoshi, the numbers are adding up to benefit them. The check ain't looking good. Onic PH are in the red, and they're down 1,200 gold. And no matter what they do with these diversions, it just doesn't seem to be enough. It doesn't seem to be worth it. So they're still looking for that off angle where RRQ Hoshi aren't ready to answer. Kelra, though, different story. I think oh my God! Toy just one blast away. I was saying, of all the members of Onic, Kelra's the only one who's actually living good. Shadow kill!
Over the range, forcing the Crimson Beacon. Dyren, good timing on the shoulder bash, but you can see the kill pressure. This 1,000 gold lead isn't big enough to stop this kill threat from Onic Philippines.
You're looking at King Kong, who's built a Hunter Strike, has a Legion Sword. Who knows what else the Beast is looking to cook up here. Securing his purple first, while Sitsujin clears up down bottom too late to protect that tier 1. And it looks like still RRQ have the advantage in this turtle pit.
Sitsujin had a way to just go in towards the turret, but he had to think about it. Everybody was missing on the map. He had to think, who's there, Edog? Implosion on 3! A full dive in the back! What a set! Brusco falling as well! And now it's Sitsujin looking for the cleanup. Rins with a flicker forward. Kirk brought up, slammed down to the ground for Edog to take.
The God Implosion echoing all throughout Jakarta City. You can watch that over and over again. It would be just as beautiful as the first time you saw it. RRQ Hoshi converting to a tier 1 in mid and a turtle. How do you come back from that?
Wow. What the hell was that? I mean, I did mention it's a signature pick diversion. From a signature to another, Super Prince shows how creative it can be on that diversion. Oh my lord.
It wasn't even from an angle you weren't expecting. Onic knew what they were getting into. They just didn't expect Edog to pull the trigger that quickly. And not on that many members.
What a play. The lift up as well, the signature flicker forward of Rins. Reactions from the casters. Yeehaw, man, they're full on cowboys today.
That was a sheriff and his deputy. Now back into the action here. 8 minutes 45. The Kingdom up by almost 2,500 gold. Onic PH still on recovery mode. Looking at the items, King Kong down by maybe 500 gold, and then a majority of the lead still on Dyren. Mr. Half Purple Man himself.
Half purple, half Dyren, half man, human. Yeah?
Kingdom.
Kingdom, half kingdom. Diversion.
All right.
Expecting someone to go for this. No. Ends up being a wasted diversion to the bottom lane, but they do get a clear down below.
RRQ has watched a good number of Prince matches to know exactly where he wants to send his team when he's on a low Yi. They're waiting for this Lord spawning in the upper quarter. 30 seconds till, and all Onic has to show for it is that tier 1 push down bottom. They are struggling, and that's an understatement. Onic can't even play the map. Usually when Onic is down this bad, they would find ways to play the map, but even King Kong is afraid. King Kong has no natural defenses against what RRQ is bringing.
I gotta say, Leo, you know, we were talking about the drafts, and honestly, that was with me thinking there's gonna be purifiers on the side of Onic Philippines. I just noticed there's no purifiers here at all. That's why the EDOF play was so massive.
I guess they were punished harder for trusting in their own mechanics. Again, who would flicker that close, right?
Yeah.
And without seeing the fight fully, would pull the trigger that quickly. So again, Onic PH may have overestimated themselves, underestimated really the mechanics of this MDL-centric squad, the new gen Kingdom.
Kirk's going for the chase, but will just be guided back by Rins. Look at Toy. Half HP on the Lord again. Dyren walking up again over to Kirk. Able to find Brusco in the bush. Rins with the Crimson Beacon. Sony Super Prince away. Sutsujin gets rid of the Lord. Enoch again finding another! My goodness gracious! And now they're all just falling under that damage. King Kong, he's gonna be lifted up just in a bit. Rins looking for the angle. Won't be able to do so as Kelra is able to provide cover.
3 for 1, an amazing exchange. As soon as you saw the Lord fall, you should have backed off, but still RRQ Hoshi make Onic PH taste the wrath of Edok's Tigreal. Once more, a big ticket ult, causing the map to turn red. Lord marching down bottom, a big chubby wave up top. This is a RRQ Hoshi written all over it.
Edok, you madman. 2 sets in a row. My goodness, now Rin's gonna be engaged on. Shadow Kill has the flicker out, but it's still gonna be a kill. Too many stacks on him.
All right, Onic PH though, land on their feet, able to defend from that Lord relatively safely, losing nothing but that Holy Shield in mid. They still keep that Holy Shield down bottom and a tier 2 up top. Onic PH are really doing their best here. This reminds me of that defense they had in game 1. Who's to say, Mirko? What are the odds that they defend the way they did in the previous game?
I think there's a chance. I mean, again, it's not as good, the clear, as a Moskov, but the Granger still does well when it comes to clearing it out, and especially considering Kelra hasn't died yet. He's still holding on to a pretty... Oh, yes! Wait, so the Sky Piercer... Oh, it was the implosion earlier.
Yep.
All right, so I think he might have to think about selling the Sky Piercer as we get into the later... Unless he wants to, again, bank on his ability to get kills, because I guess that's the only way to come back.
A late game power spike to put up the stacks, yeah, but what? You're waiting for 3 or 4 kills from out of nowhere? RRQ Hoshi's not gonna lay down and just hand it to you. Oh no.
Wow.
Kirk here forced to use the glorious pathway just to run away.
They knew, they had a read on Onic Philippines. They knew there was a diversion sent to the other side for sure, and that's why they decided to pull the trigger on Kirk. Wasn't enough, but great read.
That's what they've been playing at the movie nights in the gaming house
been
at
watching
RRQ.
Super Frizz.
Just watch Super Frizz diversion plays. The omniscience that Super Frizz previously had is now a worldwide fact. So now the world champions have a target on their backs, and RRQ Hoshi are looking to make him bleed here to get 1 on the board here in this best of 7. They're up by 5,000 now. This can't just be on a singular player or 2. It's across the board.
Dyren. All right. So far away, but there's no Brusco to actually catch him. It'll only be risky if Brusco is within diversion. No one's going to take it, though. It's just to open up the map a bit. Oh! It is going to be King Kong who takes it, clear it up top, and go back to the quad shadow all the way back.
World's longest shadow a push. I don't know if that minion is big enough to take that turret, but at least it is some map presence that Onic PH are looking to get. It's enough. Now the conceal coming in from Brusco. What do they find?
Nothing. Slow push up top too. Conceal. Burt Rins. Crimson Beacon coming out. E-Dog looking for the set one more time. Able to go for the shove in the flicker, but not able to find the implosion now. That's going to be toyed with the Wind of Nature and also the Blazing Duel. Brusco stops him there. Sutsujin gets a shutdown on King Kong, but Rins is caught in the bad spot and will be taken down by Super Prince. Sutsujin over to Brusco. That's the diversion from Super Prince to give Kelra a double.
2 for 4, and Sutsujin's the only one left. He's outnumbered by the Super Fam. He's looking for Kelra.
The Mercenary saves the kingdom with a kill on the god in the gold lane.
And the map equalizes. I don't think Prince and Kirk want to take down Sutsujin nor risk anything else for the Lord. RRQ Hoshi, what a recovery. Onic PH still showing that they got something left in the tank.
And he can burst it down for sure, all alone, no problem. You can see the difference it makes. Hold up, Sutsujin now around the diversion coming down. That's gonna be the sun over. Oh, almost a steal. What a crazy calculation from Kirk. The timing, he almost got it.
A second difference between Kirk trying and Onic PH sending over Prince, Brusco, and King Kong. That was that close, ladies and gentlemen. They did not close the gap just yet, though. 4,000 still between these two teams.
You can see the difference, though. The big, big difference when E-Dog does not get a set in these skirmishes. That's an angle of attack for Onic Philippines down below. King Kong already used a shadow kill. Sutsujin not going to go for the chase. Lord still in the mid lane.
Lord pushing in. Onic PH have to watch their backs. In comes Dyron.
Able to find Kelra. E-Dog looking for the implosion one more time. Only able to find Kirk now as he goes in for the shove. But Toy very low in the back buys the immortality. E-Dog able to stay alive. Dyron pops into a crown. And Sutsujin is unable to get anyone down. And Kelra has just taken another kill into that Sky Piercer.
Onic PH lose quite a bit in that defense. Top and mid get annihilated, but they're still alive, still in this game. Kirk for Dyron and Rins. The E-Dog Gambit not paying off, not working as much anymore. Oh, they're going far off. What are they looking for here?
It's a read. It's a possible read to a move for RRQ. They have to try to get themselves outside of the base, right? They can't just be playing inside. But it's the wrong read, unfortunately, this time around, and they won't be able to find anything. But still, the fact that they have defended means that they have that late game now that we were talking about. Kelra, he gambled on that Sky Piercer stack. He's got it.
He got a few, and they're working with that. Scraps is enough to still build an empire, and it's gonna take a while. You're looking at a 17-minute game, 13-18, with very little on the map for Onic still. Good news is they can get out of their base. Bad news is they have to permanently keep defending and managing those waves in mid and in top, and top is the long lane. So what does that mean? They have to use a diversion, possibly defensively. They have to use a diversion to send dudes over to clear the wave and then join the fight. How are they going to start defending against E-Dog then?
It's the best angle, it's the best side to have a base turret on. But this is the unpredictability of Onic Philippines. Diversion. Where is it going? Toy in the back spot. Oh my god, that damage! Wind of Nature saving Toy. But look at the shot coming down in the back line as well. Toy caught in the back spot as he buys the Rose Gold Meteor. Brusco taken down. Rins jumping to the back over to Kelra. Look at King Kong coming back at it one more time as Siren will fall to Kelra one more time.
2 for 3. A beneficial trade for Onic PH, and now Rins and Sutsujin considering how to approach the next minute. Lord spawning in 10.
The creativity of Super Prince. You can be down a whole lot of turrets. It can look impossible to come back, but nothing is impossible when you have a Lo Yi like this.
Yellow rain from whichever angle Super Prince wants to come in via the diversion. An artist on this hero. Oh, Sutsujin's really trying.
Try to go in. Oh, Kelra with the flicker forward. Kelra in 1v1 with the Rose Gold Meteor. Immortality dropped again. Kelra taken down. A mistake, but no, it was a bait. It was a distraction for the Lord to be taken by King Kong.
Kelra for the Lord at this point. It's evolved. And we're not even at TikTok timers yet, so that is a calculated risk Kelra took. The rest of the Super Fam agreed to this, but you're right, Mirko. But the waves!
They can't defend without Kelra. 20 seconds, the big gamble. Good disengage from the side of King Kong. Ida only able to find one right now. Kirk will be melted down, but is still able to get out with the glorious pathway as again Super Prince comes in around with the reaction. Sunsujin jumps in with a crowd by Super Prince. Pop back again. Blue Skull taken low.
And inside the base, RRQ Hoshi wreaking havoc. Down goes Riz, but it's too late!
A gamble that paid off. But the long-term value of RRQ just getting the kill on Kelra got them the game.
1-1, the Kingdom are on the board. Onic PH played a little too risky, get punished on the clapback.
One team plays it risky. I don't know. I felt like RRQ were playing it risky there for a second.